Yes, yes, yes. And we are back. We are live. 60 Frames No Lag podcast with your host, Porter Rock 77. Oh, man, it's so good to be back. It's so good to be back with my fellow gamers. We're about to party and bullshit here, and we're just going to have a good time. And I got, of course, my classic panel that's always here, and I got a special guest for all of you. So we're going to start out with the special guest. As usual, we got my man, Triple Cup Chuck. What's going on, brother?
Man, what's good with you? Know what I'm saying? I appreciate you having me on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna run this thing 60 frames with no lag. Everybody out there in the chat, I see you. This your boy Triple Cup Chuck, and I'm up, and let's get it.
Damn, my man's energetic. He's ready. You know what I'm saying? And the chat's filling up nicely. Now, of course, let me introduce the panel. You know, probably the best group of panel members you can get. A great combination of personalities. We're gonna start with the apparent new Christian Pope of Xbox, apparently. We got Craig, top flight security of the world. Craig, what's going on, Craig Harris?
What's going on, guys? Porter Rock, thanks for the vine. Great to see everybody here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for the questions. And yes, as the Pope of Xbox, I did make my official Cardinal yesterday. So I shout out to my new Cardinal as well.
I don't know. I think you're making people go atheist right now. I'm just saying. Right. And then, of course, we got my man All Day Digital, you know, the pettiest gamer on the net. Right here on YouTube. Woo! The Oracle of PlayStation.
The Oracle of PlayStation has returned.
The all-knowing eye.
I do all. I see all. Nah, man, what's good, man? Ready to get this podcast started, man. Hope you guys had a good week so far. It's hump day. Just don't hump nothing.
All right, cool, man. It's good to have you back, man. It's good meeting up with you. We're gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
And of course, we got the coolest cat on YouTube, my man. You know, the voice. This is the voice of YouTube. The man with the cleanest mic on any podcast. My man Fonz. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going? I'm glad. What's up? It's good to be back, guys. Porter Rock, hey, man, it's good to have you back on the 60 frames, no lag. Finally doing this again. Great stuff, man. Can't wait to get into these topics. We got some good ones.
Yeah, we definitely got some good ones. Chat's filling up nicely. Also, to remind people listening, last week I wasn't able to do it, but usually at least the first Wednesday of the month, I would open up to a Q&A to everybody listening. So you can submit your questions through Twitter or here in the chat. But anyway, we're doing it today. So if you got your questions, the panel's open to listening. But keep in mind, we're not trying to do a 3-hour podcast today because my Yankees are playing. We killing it. It ain't over. Everybody thought it was over. Hell, even I thought it was over. But anyway, let me stop right now because I'll make this the Yankee podcast in about a few minutes, right? So we're going to start something real light. Forza 7, the big gun, the king of racers. Yes, you heard me, a PlayStation fan saying the king of racers is out, you know. A couple of weeks ago, I was given, you know, I think I did a Porter's Point live between GT and Forza, and one of my things was, as a GT fan, Gran Turismo fan, what do you do if Gran Turismo flops? What happens if Gran Turismo Sport sucks? What does a PlayStation fan does? They can't do nothing. They have to wait another 4 or 5 years. And this is why I was giving props to Turn 10, because at least they're giving their fan base, you know, something consistent every 2 years, you know, or, you know, whatever, a period of time frame for them to enjoy, because at least Xbox gamers can say they've enjoyed their favorite racer on Xbox. PlayStation fans can't really say that. The only thing that PlayStation fans really had is Drive Club. That's it, you know. So now Forza 7's out, the king of racers, beautiful graphics, but it's not selling well. So I need you guys to tune me in, help me out here. Could it be Forza fatigue? Could it be Forza Horizon 3 was so good? Some people are like, hey, Forza Horizon 3 is popping. I don't really need, because Forza Horizon 3 is selling like a motherfucker. Still,
well, the majority of people like the average person loves Horizon. You know what I mean? So I think the motorsport is kind of more niche. You know what I mean? Especially it coming out in October. You know, the beginning of October is a lot of bangers coming out this month. So people might be saving their cash for those bigger AAA titles, man. Honestly.
You hit it right there. I think that's what it is. A lot of people are just saving up for that Assassin's Creed. We got Wolfenstein 2. We got a lot of AAA games coming out that, you know, do you really have the money for a sim racer? You know what I'm saying? Like, or do you just put that on the back burner? Even if you're a fan, do you just put that one on the back burner because you know that, you can always go back to the racers. It's not like something that'll get spoiled for you or whatnot. So I don't know. It could be that, and it could also be that the Xbox One X, people are waiting for some enhancements for that title, especially because apparently, or from what we've seen, it looks gorgeous, and people who've seen it in person, like all day, said it looks amazing. So maybe people are waiting on that.
What about you, Cup? What do you think about this?
I kind of feel the same way about by being a racer. A lot of people, like, I'm gonna go off my personal opinion and my personal what I personally did and how I felt. Now, when they had the demo came out, Forza, I was out hyped up, like, okay, yeah, Forza 7 came out, so I just came from playing Forza Horizon. So I put in Forza demo out there, download. I got myself together, ready, got my feet cocked up, chilling. Yeah, I get there and I get to playing it, and I watched the little preview part. Then all of a sudden I get to playing it, and it was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get it, but when I get it, I'm not gonna get it day one because I didn't feel that I must have it right here, right now. But then, like Fonzo was saying, Forza, what I'm saying, you can put that on the back burner and let it slow cook. What I'm saying, when you get off that back burner, it's still gonna taste good when you do put your teeth into it and start biting down. Now you can taste all the juices Forza gonna have. Then when the eggs come out, that's gonna make more incentive to get it because you want that show off piece. So you don't have to get it right now, but what I'm saying, it's one of those games when you do get it, it's gonna be fun then because all your friends, they got it and they'd have played it and they avatars is already, what I'm saying, playing just like them. So now you get into a race. Now you can say, okay, I'm gonna go race against this person here. I'm gonna try to beat this person here. He in one of my friends list like all day. I might see him on there like, man, I gotta outrun him or what I'm saying. And once I outrun him, it's like, okay, cool. I'd have had fun with the game. But without, what I'm saying, with that saying, I don't have to get it at the beginning. I'm still gonna enjoy it whenever I do get it. It's the same amount.
Okay. All right. The Pope of Xbox. What do you think?
Well, this game physically does not handle as well as Gran Turismo Sport.
Oh shit! This guy already.
It is doesn't. And I'm not dogging the game out. Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Are you playing Forza 7?
I've played Forza 7. I just little bighorned a couple of Xbox guys yesterday with it. They didn't think I was playing Forza 7, so I played Forza 7. Told them, called them a bunch of front row bitches. So
hey man, I don't know. From what I've seen, the track is moving, but your car's not. Multiple people have said, you know what I mean?
It does kind of look like that, but for me, when I get into the terms, the way I play my racing sims,
bro, you playing with the? I mean, I've seen professional, not professional, competitors in Gran Turismo. The way they say this constantly. If you're gonna play it with the wheel, play it with the controller is dog shit. You have to play.
I don't. Yeah, and I can't. Yeah, I don't. I can't speak for that. I do. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I followed a lot of people that did that. But for me, when I get into my turns, I like to throttle down, and then there's a certain feel you get coming out of the turn. Forza doesn't do that. At least not motorsport. Right. Now it did a little bit better with Horizon. So, and again, that's no knock on the game. Motorsports is a good game, and it's fun to play. But as far as the simulator part of the game, it's just not as good.
I kind of agree with you, Craig, in a way. I can't compare it to Forza 7 Motorsport, but I can compare it to Horizon 3 because I own it and I've played it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And having played the demo for GT Sport, it does definitely feel more sim-like than Horizon, but then again, Horizon is more arcade, whereas Motorsport is their true sim. So yeah. I don't know exactly how it compares to that, but I will say that GT Sport does handle completely different than Horizon, and I kind of like it. I think it was a pleasant surprise for me because I thought the game was going to be utter dog shit, especially looking at it back when we saw those early builds. It looked worse, where the road was looking like it was moving and not the car. When you're actually playing it, I didn't really perceive it that way. Even in third person, third person, it doesn't look as nice visually as, say, Forza, but it rides good. It's pretty. I mean, the environment is nice looking. The cars look decent. It's not an ugly game by any means, but I would give the nod to Forza in the look department. But the lighting, I think, is spectacular. I think they have done a bang up job with the lighting in this game in GT Sport. But we're kind of going off topic here, though. I know we're talking about Forza. And
hey, Fonzie, wait till you get your hands on that Forza 7. Watch how your whole opinion change.
No, but I'm not.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not that it's a bad game.
No, I'm talking he's talking about like the Horizon, how the handle is on the Horizon, how the handle is on Motorsport. When I say it's completely two different games, it's like night and day, completely different games. Because Horizon, you could drift like you know what I'm saying? Like, it's an arcade game, so you playing like arcade. Man, when you get on that Forza, because I know from Forza 6 and I played the little demo on Forza 7, you got to work them triggers like you on working a shift car. You got to really like hold one down and kind of push it. When you're hitting the counter, you can't hold the analog stick all the way down. You got to make sure you maneuvering it right. I mean, they really put their foot into it. I mean, I get what you're saying, because you know what I'm saying, you probably haven't played on the demo or even played the game yet. You're going off Horizon, but just believe they night and day.
I believe you, but at the same time, I'm just saying that for me personally, I'm not a big sim fan anyway, a racing sim fan. I prefer the arcade style racers. So for me, it's Horizon all day. But I'm just saying, GT is not a bad game, guys. People are shitting on it on the other side, on the Xbox community. There's no need for it.
I'm just happy that sim racers can be in competition with one another. Anyway, right now at the same time.
And Project Cars too. Not to cut you off there all day. If you want something that kind of comes down right in the middle, that does a little bit of everything. It does some things better than Forza, and it does some things better than GT. I mean, just depends on what you want. But as far as the game flopping, I think in Europe it may be struggling a little bit because Gran Turismo is the bigger racing game over there. And if that game's in the pipeline to come out, I guess next week? I believe next week or something like that. They may be waiting on that. And I do agree with Jay Fonz's statement. There's a lot of bangers, and All Day said this. There's so many bangers coming out this month alone. And then you go into next month as well. And the release of a brand new console. People may be sitting on their stack, and I don't blame them. I can't blame them people for doing that.
Well, let's hear Porter Rock's final thoughts on this.
He doesn't care. Why ask him?
Yeah, but let's.
I think people are finally waking up to sim racers are shit, so nobody wants to buy it.
See what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this. I don't care about sim race, so I really have no dog in this fight. But I will say this. I remember during the PS3 era, the whole Forza versus Gran Turismo 5 and shit like that in racers, and I saw two things from the gaming publishers, from the gaming, IGN, GameSpot, whatever is your favorite gaming journalist. They all give the nod to Forza. Forza's always been a more critically acclaimed, higher scoring, franchise, all that stuff, So Forza's always been the top game for that, all right? And obviously you'll see it in Metacritic. It's always been the better game, better scoring game, more critically acclaimed, and more consistent because they come out, every 2 years, whatever.
Facts.
All right? Now, that's the fact. That's just the thing about Forza. Now, whenever a Gran Turismo and a Forza game comes out the same year, which is rare because, again, Gran Turismo only comes out every so often, Car and Driver, Top Gear, all the automobile industries, they do a comparison. And most of the time, majority of them give the nod to Gran Turismo as a sim racer, not as a game. They're just doing it in comparison, which is the more lifelike simulator to a real car track or whatever. And most of those magazines give GT Gran Turismo the nod. So the way I see it is I think the hardcore weirdo that spends $500 in a racing chair in the living room with a helmet, aka Craig, probably would like Gran Turismo, For everybody else that's an average gamer, even if you're a hardcore gamer, but let's say 90% of the gamers who play racing games, they play on a controller. They don't buy a $200 racing wheel. I think those will like Forza better.
Yeah, that's exactly I think you like the better overall package, and I think Forza, this is from the outside looking in, provides a better overall package. More cars, more customizations, better user interface, Hot Wheels pack. They just provide a better experience as a gamer with a controller. But if you're the weirdo with a $500 racing and you walk
chair,
to work, right,
and you want to one day have aspirations, you want to have aspirations of being Mario Andretti, I think those guys aim towards Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Either way, me personally, I like fun games, so I don't play those two. I like my game to like kind of be fun in a way, so I don't play either of them. That's just me.
We all know we're going to have more fun on Forza 7 on the X because it's in 4K.
Yeah.
The graphics is insane.
I've seen it, bro.
Yeah.
It's on cast.
It's ridiculous. It's nasty.
It looks retarded, bro.
Them graphics is just it's like straight illegal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I played it.
No console gamer
fucking insane.
deserves. No console gamer deserves graphics like that.
Oh, here we go.
It is nasty. It's a beautiful looking game.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, it's one of the best. But isn't Project Cars in 2? Isn't that in 4K?
I don't know.
Nah, I'm not sure. No, and
Okay.
who gives a fuck? It'll be on sale tomorrow anyway.
That's another thing. There's like 50 million rates. Like what the fuck? Project Cars, right? Forza, Gran Turismo.
And Need for Speed too, though. I mean, it ain't no sim, but it's
Nobody's
still.
asking for this shit. Nobody's asking for this shit. Come on. We
Hey,
all,
you
we,
ain't fucking with that.
we all don't want all these racing games at the same time.
Hey, you heard me, Porter Rock?
What happened? What's up?
I said you fucking with that Need for Speed. It's not no sim. It's
Listen. The only racing game I would ever play has to have the Batmobile in it.
oh,
That's about it.
Well, you got Rocket League.
There you go. Yeah, Rocket League is cool because the best racing game of all time. You know, you actually do
Now,
something
Porter
other
Rock.
than make. What's up?
Real quick, you brought up the Batmobile. There is a car in Gran Turismo that Bruce Wayne is driving in the Justice League movie. That's part of the. It's authenticated for Bruce Wayne. I don't know if you got to unlock it. I don't know if it's but it's in Gran Turismo. If you're a Batman guy, that's
Well,
new
that-
Batman.
that's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
That's just gonna be trash. That movie.
Okay.
Yo, that movie's gonna be trash, bro.
I don't have any high hopes.
I refuse to even acknowledge that.
Man, the
Suicide
people make
Squad
Wonder
was
Woman.
trash.
Now the people that did Wonder Woman gonna be doing
was
that.
awesome. I
Yeah,
hope so.
that-
Wonder Woman was fantastic.
That's who. Hey, that's who got their hands on that.
It just looks like every trailer I see just looks corny, man. And I'm like, and then like I look at Thor Ragnarok trailer. I look at Thor Ragnarok trailer.
And it looks.
And then I look at Justice League. I'm like, oh man, this shit looks terrible.
Yeah, I think I'm a DC fan and a Marvel fan. I think they should really stick to animated movies, man, because that's where they shine.
Yes,
You know
these
what?
animated movies are
Even Marvel trailers. I mean, they all have their corniness. They're all that way, but they're comic books. They're supposed to be, guys.
No, Marvel
We get
trailers are awesome.
corny. They're
DC
corny. That
trailers
rag-
suck.
Hey man, you seen that Black Panther trailer? No, that's an awesome ass trailer.
That's
That's what
corny
I'm talking about.
too. That's all corny. But
Man,
you know what?
Fox,
And you know, I would tell you, you know what really irks me? This is what really bothers me. Flash is a fucking nerd. Oh my god! It's like they made him so like a bitch. Like I never seen this adaptation of Flash before. Like
They trying to make him like Spider-Man.
which is not even. No,
trying to make him like
Spider-Man. Spider-Man's just comical, but he's not a bitch.
I saw
like-
that on the TV
like-
show. Bro. On the TV show, he was a bitch.
No, he was not. this dude, like, yo, he's going to a fight. He admits, like, I really just push people and run away. Like, what? Like, oh my god, this guy's a bitch.
All days
This
100% correct, though. All days 100% correct. The cartoons are way better than the live action film.
yeah, that's a fact.
Hey, that's
TV show
excluding that
is better.
Logan movie though. That Logan movie was the truth.
Shit. Oh, Logan, yeah,
That shit was
but
fire.
that's Fox, yeah.
Yeah,
Logan, that shit was good, man.
I mean, shit, Fox, everything Fox has been doing been trash to me, but the Logan and the Deadpool,
Yeah, they did. They
Yeah.
hit it on the nose, those two.
But I like these
But I
comics.
would say,
I like them. I like them.
but what is it? The actor, what's his name? The one that did Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds.
Fuck,
Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds,
Reynolds.
yeah.
He's the one that saved that movie because he is
Yeah.
actually a Deadpool fan. He
Yeah.
like he reads the comics even before the role came out. That's his character. So he
Yeah.
made sure that
done right.
the production was just stood to the material. So
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. All right. Oh man. All right. So another light topic. All right. So we finished off. So Gran Turismo, Forza 7, they suck. All right, move on. Next topic, Cuphead, right? Everybody's talking about Cuphead. That game looks fantastic, right?
Right.
I guess, right off the bat, it sold 500,000 units on Steam and shit. And who
That's
knows
good.
what it does that well? Yeah, man, it's
That's good, man.
fantastic. What do you guys think about it? Who's been pulling their hair?
That's equivalent to $1 million on the Xbox.
What's it?
At least. I said 500,000 on Steam is equivalent to the $1 million on the Xbox.
Easily could be.
The Xbox game.
Could be. Yeah.
I'm hoping that it at least hit $1 million by now, because that's one of those games. I mean, it's unique, it's fun, and it's going to expose a lot of people, and it's going to bring other gamers back to those days of Super Mario World and Super Mario 3. I mean, yeah. I'm exclusive to Mario 2, that Contra era, but then the games was actually hard, where you had to actually play the game and practice the game to actually beat the game, instead of them holding your hand saying, "Come on, baby, we can make it through this." No, this is 300. They're gonna kick you out there, and you got to get it on your own. Yeah. That's what so that's what I like about the game. I haven't beat it myself, but that game is one of the most funnest games I've played. That's from an indie developer in forever. And I was not no fan of Ori and the Blind Forest. I looked at that game out the inside, outside. Man, I looked at the game like, man, I ain't playing this. This looks stupid to me. I see people liking the game, saying, for each is his own. But for me personally, I didn't like it. But when Cuphead came around, that ended right there. Yeah. That one there, I had to put my cup up and toast to that one.
You saw the light?
Yeah, I seen the light. It was bright too.
Okay. Ori and the Blind Forest was my favorite game on the Xbox this gen, but now it's Cuphead. Cuphead has surpassed it. I just think it's a better game. But Cuphead is just so unique, It's just we haven't had a platformer like this that is. I'm going to use a cute word here, guys. Charming. It's one of those games that is just like, it's likable, it's addicting, and it's hard. And that's one of the reasons I keep going back to it. It's because I want to smack that boss in the ass, and beat the shit out of it and keep progressing through the game. And there's times you just got to put it down and walk away, because there's some of those bosses are insanely hard. So,
okay.
I like it.
You've been playing that?
Yeah, I play it at least, an hour a day. You know what I mean? I can't play that much. You know what I mean?
It's Cup Souls.
Hey man, the more it's Cup Souls, bro. The more I play it, the more I want to say fuck gaming. But real shit though, like, it really did bring me back to the times of Super NES days, and it just hits. Every error in that game is your fault. The game is fair. I mean, you might have an occasional bug here and there, but it ain't game breaking. So when I play it, just reminds me of all that old school platforming, and it's a great game. And just once you play it and you fuck up, you just can't stop. You just want to keep going and going. You want to accomplish that, beating that boss, and it's a great feeling. That's why people have that type of feeling towards Dark Souls and Bloodborne. That feeling you get of victory, it can't be matched, man. That's what we play games for, that triumph. And that's what Cuphead does, you know what I mean? And it's a nice game to look at. And I think they're going to be adding some collector's edition, I think I've heard. Something like that.
That'd be nice.
So that'd be dope. And I'm just happy that Xbox got one. I mean, it took a while, but shit, they got one. You know what I mean?
Hey, all day, don't you be feeling like when you get killed, you be like, I know what I did wrong. You always had that feeling like, I know what I did wrong. Not the game messed up.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you fuck up, you can analyze what you did, how you fucked up, and improve it. The game is teaching. The game is literally being an asshole to teach you how to play the game.
For the most, 99% of the time you're right all day, but there is there is some bugs occasionally.
Occasionally. Yeah.
I have a clip of where I died in the middle of the air and nothing hit me, and I've got that clip, and I'm like, what?
Well, you are getting up in age, Fonz. You might have not seen the bullet that hit you.
No. I got a clip. There's nothing that hit me at all. My
it came from out the sky.
They were like, "How'd you die?" And you could see all around my character. I just get hit by an invisible whatever.
You might have to post that. You might have to post that so we can all take a look.
Yeah. All right. I'll call some. Hey, I gotta admit, that's gonna be my first Xbox One game I'm gonna play. Cuphead.
It's awesome.
It just looks too fucking. Like, I'll be honest. Like, there's a lot of PlayStation gamers that want that game. They are like begging for it, and rightfully so. Like, why wouldn't you want this game? The game is absolutely fantastic. Like, yeah, that's a winner. Xbox definitely got a winner. Hey, if you haven't played it, you have to just support the game, because I know I am. Hey, sorry to interrupt. Got my man Daniel J. He did a $5 super chat, so appreciate the donation. he has a question. So this is the first question we're gonna hit up. So his question is this: do you think Spider-Man PS4 will be able to compete with the Batman Arkham series?
Ooh.
My man came in with that hot fire. Good job, that.
Hey,
I didn't even expect that.
honestly,
What can we do?
fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Why not?
From the start, yeah, you would think that it's going to sell a lot just because it's Spider-Man. But if it comes out to be a dog shit game, then I don't think as a franchise it'll hold up to the Batman Arkham Knight series. But Spider-Man, I think everybody's going to get that first game. Everybody's going to buy it.
Of course.
Yeah. Hey, even if they add some RPG elements, maybe so. But if it's just a regular adventure game, I don't think so. Because I think, you know, saying the moves and stuff, you're gonna start getting tired of doing the same moves over and over again. Now that will kill it. But if it do it like how Arkham did it, and kind of like, you know, saying let you gradually gain stuff and add more abilities to it, and they do it correctly, I think that part, because they got the web swinging down. They got, I mean, it's a beautiful game. So
I've played like almost every Spider-Man game that's ever came out, right? Except the one on I think there was an old one on the Super Nintendo I didn't play, or the regular
Carnage. You ever played that Maximum Carnage? Oh,
I had Maximum Carnage and Separation Anxiety. I had both.
Okay, what about the one on PSP?
The one on what?
PSP.
No, I didn't have that one. So what I'm saying is all like console games, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have no handhelds. Handhelds fucking suck. But but I mean when it comes to Spider-Man games, you know, we don't do that shit around here. But I mean most of the Spider-Man games like recently, they all have had kind of like an RPG element to them where you can upgrade, get different suits with different abilities, different moves, and different properties of each suit. So right. I don't think they're going to stray away from that. If anything, they'll add to that and make it more RPG. So. I mean, because think about it, the game's a single player game, single player experience, so they want to lock you in as long as possible. Not to mention they could add DLC down the line too. So you know, I think the game will get some legs, and I hope it does become a franchise, man.
I think
DLC.
I think what will make this game competitive with against Arkham Knight, against the Arkham franchise, is the fact that it's actually being made by an actual AAA developer, Insomniac, and they make great games. You know, if it would have been in the hands of another developer, like those low-tier developers that Activision's been using just to make money off the name and not actually, you know, it's just, I look back, it's just crazy how Activision didn't take this franchise serious. It just blows my mind that they didn't think like, hey,
man, they fucked it off for years.
Yes, bro. They had this decade. I think the last time Activision actually used a AAA developer was on the PS2, and it was Treyarch. That was the last actual AAA developer that had their hands on Spider-Man, and that's when it was good.
Puerto Rock, this is rare, but I got to correct you. They make excellent games except for Sunset Overdrive.
You don't think Sunset Overdrive is good?
I like it.
I heard a lot of people say it's good. I didn't play it, but I heard so much praise. Tell me the truth, Fon. Speak, preach.
Well, here's the thing. You know, I'm not console buying, okay? I will play Xbox games and enjoy them if they're good. Sunset Overdrive, in my opinion, is not good. And one of the reasons why is you can't, like, walk around on the ground. I mean, you'll get killed. You'll get right away. I mean, you got to stay up high. It didn't feel good. It's like, it was almost like a Jet Set Radio.
Yeah.
Not fun. Not fun.
If they were make your speed be as equal as you being on a rail on the ground, that game would have been much better.
So again, I didn't play it again, so I want to ask you, Sai-san. So all that rail flying thing, that wasn't like a super ability. That's like something you kind of have to do.
That's the way you traverse.
Yeah, the whole.
That's mandatory. Like that's like something you have to do all the time.
Well, to be more efficient,
you're
gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to. Do that.
I could see some people not like that. I could see.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was a good concept, though. Okay. It was a good concept. I was looking more as if they come out with a sequel. The sequel would have been the game of the year. This one was just like them trying a whole bunch of different things, and like they was trying to say, okay, they want you to. You ever seen this this movie called Crank? I
remember with Jason Statham.
Yeah, they want you to have that feeling. So they want to keep you moving and keep you jumping and keep you going. Like the whole time they want you to keep moving faster and faster. They wanted you to get faster. Now, like what Fonzie said, that's a good ass point, because you know, if you could be able to be on the ground like Grand Theft Auto, then all of a sudden just jump in the air and do something like Batman and then hop on the little things and go across. Yeah, but matter of fact, that's what they probably end up doing with the Spider-Man, where you be Peter Parker walking around, then you go run, jump until the thing turns to Spider-Man. And you know, who knows what they're gonna do in that game. I mean, it's gonna be very interesting. But Forza, I mean, I come like Forza. What's the game we were just talking about?
The Spider-Man or
no, the game
Sunset
that
Overdrive.
like, so Overdrive, yeah, Overdrive. Now, if they come out with a sequel and then 2 people can play the single player mode, it'll be a good game.
Okay. Now back to Spider-Man. You just brought up a good point. Spider-Man, the one thing about Arkham, as it progressed and got better, you were able to interact with the city, with the environment. You know, sometimes you could just slow it down and just enjoy some of the missions and do something, you know. Spider-Man, right, you know, because of the traversing, is a very fast character. If that's all you do, that could get old. If all you do is just go from rooftop to rooftop, mission to mission, you know, so they got to find a way to enjoy the city. Like he said, be Peter Parker, where you could be on the ground, do some stuff. Like, enjoy the whole entire atmosphere, because I think if all you do is just swing from point A to point B, then it's gonna get old. I think that.
Yeah, we're gonna find out a whole lot about Spider-Man and PSX.
You think so? You think it'll be there?
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to PSX this year.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll be there.
The Oracle. You heard it, folks. The Oracle.
I'm gonna be floating on my fucking orb, Indian style.
You're gonna. Oh man, you're gonna have a gold turban and a hookah. Smoking.
Yeah. Have a joystick in one hand and a 40 in the other.
Damn right. Fucking right, bro.
A black and mild on that.
Thunderbird and Kool-Aid, bro. That's what's going down.
You know? But you know what? But I think overall with Spider-Man, with Insomniac, and I think also with Sony as the publisher, because you know they let the developers just do whatever. They just be like, here's a blank check. Do what you want. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's a bad thing. Like, it could be like Naughty Dog good, but then it also could be like Team might go bad. You know, when you give developers too much freedom, it could go either way. But I think with the hands of Insomniac, and they're not known to take too long to make games, and they make, you know, overall technically competent games. I think yes, Spider-Man has a chance to compete with Arkham. I say the only thing that might hold Spider-Man back, if we're going to talk sales, is the fact that Spider-Man is only available on one platform, while Arkham is available on multiple platforms. You know, it's on PC, Xbox, so a lot more people can actually buy the game, you know, that don't own a PlayStation. I say that's about the only thing. But I think Spider-Man is going to be a huge seller.
But I think honestly, Spider-Man is a console seller, bro. Keep it honest with you.
I think, yeah, especially if they do like a themed console, like a red box. Oh, yeah. Like a red box and a digital and a free digital code to the movie. Like, you download the digital
Oh, that'd
code.
be fire. That'd be fire.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think, didn't they do that once with the PS3? And
with Spider-Man 3?
Yeah.
Might have been.
Like, you got a free copy of a Blu-ray?
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they had a free copy of the Blu-ray.
They should make the console look like the Spider-Man logo.
Yeah, they like, you know, make it red, have the logo, and then a free digital copy of the movie.
Before we get besides ourselves, we have to realize that they're kind of in a bad situation due to the fact of the current design of the Call of Duty PlayStation. That shit looks fucking horrible. So
that camouflage shit.
Yeah, they might want to take their time with the Spider-Man one. Just saying.
Yeah, that Call of Duty comment. But you know what's funny? Like, all right, so everybody knows I'm in the Marines, right? And like, camouflage anything is like disgusting to me because I work with it every day. So I don't see the big deal in buying clothes that I camouflage t-shirts and hats. I'm like, who the fuck would want that? You know, because it's weird. But like my family, every time I go to New York, I have to bring them camouflage some shit. Like sweaters, you know, my son's a Marine, my nephew, all this. Everybody wants these ugly camouflage shit that is disgusting, but like normal civilians love this shit. And I'm like, whatever. But like, do you sense like some people, just because it's camouflage, it looks cool just because it's camouflage? Even though it's
fashion is so subjective, bro.
It's an ugly pattern. When I saw that thing, it's just lazy.
Yeah, it didn't even look like. I mean, but maybe a digital pattern would look better than that.
I could have done some much better design than that shit. There's some lazy slap-on stuff. But anyway, hey, Daniel J, excellent question. So let's go on to the next thing. PlayStation VR. Also, I just want to make an announcement. I just want to make an official announcement So as of right now, ladies and gentlemen, Yankees are winning 1-0. All right, that is all. All right. So PlayStation VR. Sony announced that a new upgraded model of a PlayStation VR came out. I guess it allows to now do HDR with less shit. I don't really know. I really don't know, but it's something to upgrade a model, and then also like the headsets, uniform, some crazy shit. You know, a lot of things that people wanted. But the main thing I seen was complaints that early adopters got screwed over. Right? Yep. Here's my philosophy in terms of any product, whether it's Xbox, PC, phones, cars, whatever. If you're an early adopter, you can't complain that an upgrade amount. That's what being an early adopter is.
That's what it means.
You are an early adopter. You are the one that's test bedding this thing. Yep. You're the test bed. If you buy a TV brand new off the market and then a year later they upgrade it, you can't be pissed. Bro, you are the early adopter. You get to say, I got it first. That's it. So what do you guys think about that? One, what do you think about Sony investing in upgrading PSVR? Does this mean that they're doing pretty good? And then the second question, do you feel early adopters really got screwed over?
It's only proven that they've only sold like a little over 1 million since it's launched, right? And here's the thing. Now, while some will say, well, that's not a flop, I beg to differ, especially when you have so many such a large install base of PS4s everywhere, 60 plus million. Not only that, I think, this is where Xbox did the right thing in that they didn't go after VR right away. They're taking their time with that. They're waiting on that because right now it's not a proven tech. Like you said, these people are getting quote unquote fucked over because they are early adopters. They're getting tech that isn't finished really. I mean, it's still a work in progress, especially with the PSVR unit. I just think that right now VR is not needed in the gaming space. It's something that is very niche and it'll be cool down the line for a lot of people, I guess. But right now we don't need that shit. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
My thing is, are they lowering the price at all with this new iteration?
Yeah, price went down.
Okay, so that's a plus. I mean, because me and my girl, we were thinking about picking it up this holiday, just to have another peripheral in the house. That's kind of interesting. But I think that being an early adopter, with common sense. I mean, it's not very common, but like buying the first iteration, especially with a peripheral as big as that is, there's going to be another iteration of it, right?
Yeah, there'll be a third.
Here's my question. Franz brought up a good point. Maybe let's say VR is something down the line that will get better. But here's my question. If something's supposed to get better down the line, at what point do you start pushing it? Because like, let's say the tech can't get cheaper until the tech is already out. Like look at Blu-ray. Blu-ray is dirt cheap now. But when it first came out, that thing was like $1,800.
Right.
It has to start somewhere.
But I think the way that Sony did it was completely wrong because they started off with the base PS4 model. And that we already know that the PS4 Pro was, in my opinion anyway, I will say I think the PS4 Pro was pushed out for the VR unit. I think that it was a big boost to VR, their PSVR. And I just think the way they're going about it is just all wrong. And now you're hearing that they're not going to bring no more, mid-gen consoles anymore for Sony.
Oh, I told you that. I knew that wasn't going to happen.
And here's the thing, though.
That's a good topic, though.
That's the problem with Sony right now. I think they've got so much money. Let me back up. They don't have so much money. No, it's a company. They don't. Xbox dudes are going to jump me for that. But I'm saying as the PlayStation is killing it, right? They're selling PlayStations like crazy. But it seems like they're just trying to find something else to bring in. And I think they should just keep it simple. Just bring the games, put out good product with your consoles like you are doing. Leave it alone. Or is a phenomenal system, and you're going to be all right. We don't need to bring in this fucking weird shit right now. Just let the PC guys, tap into that market first and hash out what the specs are needed and stuff, VR units and stuff before we get into that console. Bring it into the console space.
All right. To be honest, I don't really have a problem with PSVR. I have a bigger problem with PS Now than I do with VR, to be honest. because I could understand VR. It's a completely different experience. A lot of other products are doing it. PC's doing it.
It's being
Control,
stubborn.
yeah. No, phones are doing it. What the fuck is PS Now? Nobody wants this.
They put a lot of money.
This. Not the PC gamers don't want this.
They put a lot of money in the Gaikai, bro. A lot, and they don't want to see that. And I'm pretty sure they haven't made that fucking money.
No, nobody. Notice how Sony. I mean, even with the PSVR, they talked about over 1 million people purchased it. So we know and this was like 6 months ago, 4 months ago. So we know at least 1 million people bought it. We see they invested money into an upgraded model, which is the new PSVR. So we know they going all in. We see they hired a Microsoft dev to head the VR department. So they're putting money into this. What do we know about PS Now?
Nothing.
We haven't heard shit about that. We don't know how many people subscribe to it. They might I think there's a new announcement Until Dawn is coming. So they're not really putting big blockbuster games that are like recent. There's nothing to now. We're not hearing an upgraded, it's failing.
It's not just PS Now with them. What's weird to me, Porter Rock, is the fact that they even have this service, the streaming service called Ultra that plays 4K movies. They don't even bring that to their consoles. I don't understand why. Like, why don't they at least put that on the PS4 because it doesn't have a Blu-ray drive, a UHD Blu-ray drive? You might as well bring UHDs through their streaming service, their own proprietary streaming service. It's fucking crazy. I don't understand what Sony's doing in that.
That's outstanding.
I seen a tweet by Paris. Shout out to Gamertag Radio. Yeah. I seen a tweet. This is about 3 or 4 days ago, I guess, with the 5.0 update for the UI. It bricked this lady's console, and they told her it would cost her because she can't play it at all, right? So it would cost her $100 to get it fixed.
I got something to say about that.
I replied to that tweet. I even replied in.
You saw it?
I tagged PlayStation and asked PlayStation. I told them that you need to fix this. This is your fault. I even made a comment that would be the equivalent of me taking my Nissan Maxima for an oil change. The mechanics break my engine, and now they're charging me to replace the engine. Like, no, motherfucker! I just paid for an oil change. I didn't even hear about this, but the other day when I went to do the update, I got the update. It took forever, by the way, and then finally my screen went black, and it wouldn't come back on for nothing. I left it on for a good 10 minutes, and it was completely black. I thought it was bricked.
Shit.
Yo, I don't do previews for nothing. I stopped doing that. I don't even like doing betas anymore.
But here's the thing.
I don't even like doing that.
I turned it off, turned it back on. It was still black. I unplugged it, plugged it back in, and finally it came up. It scared the shit out of me, though. And I didn't even hear about that story.
Yeah.
I heard that console was breaking.
But that's crazy, You shouldn't charge me or anybody, or consumer, for something you did. But you broke it. You replace it. Granted, I understand the shipping. It takes a while. Yeah, we got that. But replace it for free because you provided the brick. Because, think about it this way. Technically, that could be a little scam. You send a fucking, if nobody knows the difference, you send out a little update that purposely bricks consoles, and then you just force people to pay to fix it.
Yeah, I don't think
that could be a scam.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting on that. Yeah, and real quick, let me just say on the early adopting thing, I always say wait 90 days. Like the Xbox One X, do you want the black one that's coming out, or do you want the white one that'll be probably announced next year at E3?
Right.
Everything's better in black, dog. Everything, come on. Yeah. You ain't seen no damn white suit Batman.
Well, he is the Pope of Xbox. You got a purple.
I mean, they're going to do something different. They have.
You know what it is? I think Xbox already had more than enough white consoles.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. That was a joke.
It's their base color, though. Yeah, I think white is the base.
I think people want the black console now. I think people are asking that, right? Cup. What you think? You've been asking for that, right? Always bet on black.
I'm with you on that one. Like about the early adopter thing with the, so you gotta look at it like me. I purchased the Fat. I paid the $500 for it, and then they came out with the S. So I can't get mad at them because they can't. I mean, that's guaranteed for them to come out with something new.
You're early adopter.
Yeah, you're early adopter. So sooner or later the price is gonna go down. Yeah. They're gonna get new hardware to make it a whole lot more friendly for the pockets. You know what I'm saying? Nice and cheap for them. So they're gonna add more features to get more new people on there, make other people upgrade. So you always gonna have that going on. So that's nothing to complain about. I mean, that was, to me, it was guaranteed for the PlayStation to come out with another VR. And if you don't know no better, pretty soon they're gonna come out with a wireless one.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're working.
I know you're down. That's coming.
Eventually,
It's coming.
Yeah, it is coming.
So I don't want to hear nobody that bought it and say, "Oh man, I wish that about this here because now they got a wireless one out. I'm feeling burnt, man. They can't feel burnt about that. You bought what you wanted, and that's what you wanted at the time, so you got it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's like on the spot purchase, because the thing was $400 or $500. So if you bought this, it's because you really wanted it.
Right.
It wasn't one of those you walk in, got a gallon of milk. Oh shit, let me buy a PSVR. Like, nah, you ain't dropping 5 bones. You really wanted this.
This thing came out a year ago.
Yeah.
Like, and this next iteration isn't even out yet. So what are people really complaining about? They had a year with this thing, and they supposedly love it. So what are they complaining about?
If for anything else, for those who did buy PSVR, you should feel a little bit of comfort knowing Sony's investing more, because it's probably a good sign that it's doing decent.
That's the main thing. And shout out real quick, Dr. Richie Porter. Shout out to Chris Jones in the chat. He said the white Xbox won't run NBA 2K. It'll just run NHL.
This dude.
When you put up the game, everybody's gonna be.
Or you can play his hockey and shit.
Yeah.
And NASCAR.
Let's say I bought VR and I bought it back when it launched. Now, if they would have came out with a new iteration just 6 months later, then yeah, that would be some bullshit.
Yeah.
But this is well over a year. This thing ain't even coming out till when? I mean, is there any
next year?
It's like
got a release date.
not even this year, right? It doesn't even have a release date.
So people are bugging. They're bugging.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're an early adopter, so you have the PSVR in your home. Just chill, play it, enjoy it. A new iteration comes out. If you spent $500 at launch, you should have a problem trading that bitch in again. The new version. You know what I mean? So
since we're almost getting close to an hour, let's talk about these loot crates and get out of here.
Yeah. Wow.
What do you say, Puerto Rock?
What's up? What happened? I got cut out.
Let's talk about these loot crates.
Yes, that's what I was doing. Yeah, we're gonna get into this loot crate. So help me out, people. You know, that's why I call. You know, I feel like Biggie Small. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. I'm a bastard. Yo. You know what I'm saying? So talk to me. What's all the conundrum going on with loot crates? What's going on? Somebody.
I think we're just witnessing the new step in making more money. It happens in most things, you know. They paywalls. It's just the way of the internet, the way of consumerism now. It's just, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, those things are completely optional. Free to play, you know what you're getting yourself into. You know, you pay the introductory price of $60 with these games, and if you really enjoy the game, you might not have a problem buying these microtransactions. But it's not by force. So you take it how you want to take it. You know what I mean? Whatever.
All right. Now, here's the thing. Now, is these the first question? And I think number one, I think what really set it off was Shadow War. Now, the loot crates in Shadow War, are they doing anything to break the gameplay of the game? Like, for instance, like you need to get a loot crate to get the ending of the game or some shit. Like, what's going on?
I haven't got that far in the game, but I know I just took a look at the store. A shop, whatever you want to call it, and I looked at some. They're basically just the RNG, randomized loot drops that you get. You know, you'll be guaranteed a legendary that, you know, will give you some boost stats or whatever. But I heard things about, like, you know, I don't know, something. I don't know. I don't really know about.
Let me ask you this.
I heard at the very end of the game, to get the true ending, you do need something, and
you have to grind. I think it's like a grind you have to do. You have to go back and beat some fortresses.
But you can also buy it, I think.
Okay. Now here's my question. Does this game have competitive multiplayer?
No.
So who gives a fuck? Who cares? Even if the loot crate gives you the sword of Angar, who gives a fuck?
Right. The sword of 1,000 truths.
Yeah, it's like who cares? The secret characters all day. The Oracle of PlayStation as a secret character. Like, who cares? Like, I could understand if it was multiplayer and you could like pay to win. So when I think of pay to win, I think of phone gaming because there's a lot of games on phone gaming that you cannot play if you try to play legit because people who spend $1,000, you know, like Clash of Clans, don't even think about it. Unless you're a millionaire, don't even bother with that game because there's dudes that spend like $5,000 upgrading this shit and you can't beat them.
And I think the argument more it lies more with Star Wars Battlefront 2.
So, all right, explain that one. What's going on with that one?
So everything. I mean, they haven't announced how much the loot crates are going to cost, but everything, your progression is the loot crates in the game to level up and to get the crates to unlock star cards that you can, like, say if you start off with Boba Fett, that's your star card, right? So if you get, the way I think I understand it, if you get a gold card of that same one, then you know he becomes like, oh, you take 50% less damage in air. If you collect all those,
this is competitive multiplayer then,
right?
It's actual gameplay,
right?
Ooh,
right.
It's pay to win. Basically,
that's bad.
Boba Fett, it's actually 100% less damage in the air.
Yeah, 100% less damage in the air.
That's
so
bad.
That's bad.
And with Han Solo, you can get his blaster to be like 15% stronger, and things like that is just really scummy. Like it takes on average like 5 hours to get one loot crate if you just grind for it, or you can buy them. So, you know, and it's all RNG. So that's where people say that's where the gambling comes from, is because you never know what you're going to get. So you're going to keep going after, keep spending money on those loot crates to try to get the good, you know, loot. So, but
they beating the game down.
To me, it's a bad look when you put this stuff in multiplayer. Because like you said, with single player, like I'm not going to buy the shit. Like, why would you want that one up anyway? If you just want to finish the game real quick, then that's your prerogative. Buy that bullshit. I don't give a fuck. But putting in multiplayer, making it a pay-to-win situation is killing the gaming industry, guys. It's killing it. For you people out there that defend this pay-to-win bullshit, it pisses me off as a gamer. I get fucking pissed. I'm on Twitter talking about it, and there's guys going, well, it's not that bad. Fuck you, it's not that bad. It's terrible.
Yeah.
We just paid $60 for your fucking game. Now, look, this is where I don't know if you agree or disagree, but if it's strictly cosmetic, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
All the way.
Yeah.
100%.
Or single player.
Give me more. Yeah,
single player. Do what the hell you want in your own world. No problem.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
Keep going. Keep preach, Oracle.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, he had to get some water.
Nah. If it's strictly cosmetic, I'm all for it. Matter of fact, give me more. Right? If I'm in love with the game. But if these loot boxes and these microtransactions give people edges in multiplayer over me, over someone who's spent like $100 on the game and he's like killing me all the time, and it becomes a direct issue. But I just feel like a lot of these loot crates just don't belong in certain genres of game anyway. Like, you don't need microtransactions in every fucking game at all. You really don't.
Hey, and I do have a solution to this problem. You know, like, why not create modes to accommodate certain type of game? Like, for example, like let's say Star Wars, whatever, the, you know, multiplayer, whatever. Have one mode to where you could get all this loot crates, all this.
So it'd be like Injustice.
Okay. Yeah. So have that, right? Whatever. But a mode where it's for competitive players and all this stuff is canceled out. You don't you can't use purchased items, only the items that you grind. So those who don't care, they want to buy this stuff and have fun. This is the, you know, whatever mode. For those who are looking for a more competitive, you know, atmosphere, call it competitive multiplayer mode. And like, it cancels out anything you purchase. You can only use the stuff that you grind and earned.
Well, Porter Rock, let me say this real quick.
Would that be a good solution?
Well, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I can tell you right now, most of us are playing that game for the story. We want to see what happens between the Battle of Endor and the Battle of Jakku. So that's what most people are going to play. Now, you're right. I do agree with the multiplayer thing. If you're in a multiplayer situation and somebody gets a competitive advantage, yeah, I think that's garbage. I mean, I agree 100% with what everybody said here. But this is why I've always said my default, you know what my default position on single player versus multiplayer is? I will always go to single player.
I mean, I get
People are
that.
upset.
Like I said, I'm like 65% single player, 35 multiplayer, right? But I still have to respect the multiplayer side for the multiplayer gamer. And I think there is a balance to this. You can split, like you can create modes to accommodate both fan base. If you want to play, you know, all frenzy, all out, no holds barred, no rules, you know, and it's not like it's a new concept. Because I remember back in the days we used to have, you know, like in shooters, multiplayer shooters, you were able to select modes where you had nothing but grenades and bazookas. It was a complete mayhem. Like it made no sense. You just chucking grenades and shooting bazookas. Everybody dying.
They have built-in handicaps, right?
Yeah, you know, but that's just fun. It didn't, but it didn't interfere with the other modes. Now, I remember there were modes where it was no explosives. It was straight up just gunplay. There were modes with no snipers. It was, you know, like you accommodated to the play style, and people were happy.
Craig is right, though. I know some people that are big Star Wars fans that are just picking up the game simply for the campaign. That's it. That's all they're interested in. And that's fine. Yeah. But if you're a multiplayer, you know, and you like playing multiplayer games and you support games like this, fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. I don't care.
I mean, what about if they're going to have all that in the game? You know what I'm saying? You know it's about money. So why don't they just say instead of it being like a $59 game, it'd be a $69 game? Because when I came to this new generation, I really expected for it to go $10 more automatically. I mean, that's where my mind state was at from the jump, but it didn't. I was like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna complain that it's still the same price. Now, like, man, if they jumped up $10, I wouldn't trip. That way they can cut out that pay to win on the multiplayer. Now, like with the single player experience, if a person had wanted to pay $29.99 to be able to open up a portal to go to the last boss and beat the boss with one punch, I'm cool with that because you just paid for the game and you ain't even get the chance to experience how fun the game was and go through and admire the artwork and stuff like that. You just wanted to win, so I wouldn't trip about that. If I mean, hey, I'll do it too. If I'm making a game, I say, oh, you want to skip straight to the end? If you give me $30, you can get to the end. I mean, why wouldn't I do that? I mean,
Chuck, let me say this: there's been multiple people on YouTube that know developers have come out and said these developers actually want $100 a game. That's why and none of them have the balls to just charge it.
But
because they know people. I mean,
I think Destiny could have got away with it.
But they know the industry won't survive with $100 games.
Destiny could have did it.
Wait a minute. This dude in chat said Jimmy from Weapon Wheel Podcast thinks that there's nothing wrong with these loot boxes. Jimmy,
that's his opinion. That's cool.
Look. Okay. No. That's not an opinion to have. That is just plain stupidity. So if he wants to debate loot boxes, I'll be more than happy to debate loot boxes when it's a pay to win situation.
Yes, I agree with Jay Fonz. Pay to win is just like if you're gonna have pay to win, fine, but keep that mode, like have a mode for that. And then have a
well, I agree with what All Day said. Yeah, All Day was. I agree. If it's to get some skins as far as different character models or DLC, it's going to enhance like The Witcher 3. Yeah. You don't have to get blood and wine to finish The Witcher, but it does enhance the character, the story mechanic, and stuff like that. That's fine. I get that. But and I agree with Jay Fonz. Yeah, if you're in a competitive situation online, you capture the flag or whatever, and somebody's got, you know, you just pretty much can't kill them, or it's harder to kill them. Yeah, I'd be pissed. I totally understand that. Totally.
Now I want to say, now since we're on the topic, I saw a tweet. Somebody bought, you know, Battlefront and they loving it. You know, they're enjoying it. And I forgot who it was, but they got mad hate. This person was just getting comments. Oh, you're a non-gamer. You're screwing us over. So that's why I made a comment on tweet, but like, whoa, you know, this loot crate is going too far. It's one thing for you to not like it and you choose with your own money not to buy it. But don't go harassing other people that don't care.
Yeah, I don't think it's right. Yeah, I don't want to be one of those guys to say, yeah, go after this guy or that guy for buying the game. I have not attacked anybody anywhere for buying the game. I'm just saying for myself, I think it's pretty damn scummy. Yes, I will say that's fucked up that they're doing that. They're buying a game like this, but I'm not going to them and berating them over it.
And look, and my thing is, if you're gonna start doing microtransactions in all these fucking games and making it pay to win, the game should be around between $29.99 and $39.99.
They've
lower the price.
This multiplayer, they've straight up copied the free-to-play business model, which is you put a game out there where you'd have to grind forever to get the good loot, or you can buy it. That is the free-to-play business model.
Yeah, that's phone. Yeah. That's phone gaming.
So the game should be cheaper or free. Period.
Hey, don't that remind you of going to the carnival, and you go to the carnival and you got to try to win this big teddy bear, and you can throw
you ain't winning shit.
Yeah, and you coming out with $20. Okay, man, let me get another 20 more of them things. Before you know it, you'd have paid $100 for a $20 bear. But you know, I say your girl happy, and so they the one on for you. That's what this microtransactions remind me of.
Let me tell you a little story about a carnival. Let me tell you, because me and my wife, we're competitive. Whenever we compete, like, she doesn't care. She'll watch the world burn before I win. Let me show you. I swear to God. Yo, my wife is super competitive. She'll better have the world burn before I admit that I'm better or something. Like, she ain't gonna have any. So we're in a carnival, right? I think it was Great Adventures. And you know the little water gun game? Like, you press the water gun, and then it's like a race. Mouth. Yeah, and a clown and whatever. It was just me and her, right? So I won the first match. Now, if you win 2 in a row, you get the bigger prize, right? So I'm like, cool. In my mind, I'm thinking my wife's going to let me win because she's going to get the bigger prize. I assume that. Boy, was I wrong, bro. She was not trying to let me win under any condition. The fact that she lost the first match pissed her off. So we're playing the second match, and she won. And she's like, yes, I win. And the guy's like, if you would have let your husband win, you would have got the bigger bear. She's like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck the bear. And she looked at me, I beat your ass. And I was like, yo, he didn't care about the bear. She wasn't going to leave that booth a loser. Not happening.
She wasn't taking that L, huh?
Yo, she was not taking that L. She took the little piece of shit dog, and she's like, fuck it, I earned this. Yo,
this dog got a
I'm
W.
sorry, I just had to say that story. That shit just popped in my head.
One of the things.
Fuck the bear. Yo,
I have to back up and say, I wouldn't debate anybody on this. I take that back. You know why? Because one of the things that everybody says that defends these loot crates or pay to win, they say this all the time. They say, well, you don't have to buy it. It's optional.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. However, get in a game against somebody who's bought all the shit and he's up in the air and you can't hurt that motherfucker and he's just killing you left and right. How much fun do you think you're going to have in that match?
It's not. Like, again, if for people who want to know the pain, try Clash of Clans on phone. Impossible to have fun. Yo, there's dudes that spends $3,000-$4,000 on that game. You can't win. Like what they do in one day takes like 5 years to build up. And it's just not fun. Because
they buy all the fucking gems. That's right.
And they just do everything, So, like, I think the only answer, because I don't think this loot crate is going to go away, because there's going to be people, because there's a lot of casual. Let's admit, when consoles sell 100 million or more combined, 90% of the fan base is casual.
I'm telling you right now.
It's not hardcore gamers. Most console gamers are casual. And they will love to pay for it.
Casuals are buying the loot crates. Yes.
Yes, they are buying. They don't care. They're not listening to YouTube. They're not on Twitter. They could get Han Solo for $50. They're gonna buy it.
You know what it is?
Without even a second thought.
They don't have casuals say they don't have time to grind for shit, so they'll just buy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Console gaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Now go ahead, Puerto Rock. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah. No problem. Hey, console gaming. Let's be honest. We don't like to admit it, but when consoles sell 100 million, or when it's combined market of 150 million, 200 million, it's majority casuals. They're the ones that mostly play. It's not the hardcore. There ain't that many. Hardcore gamers bought the OG Xbox. That's 25 million. Hardcore gamers bought the Dreamcast. 10 million. Those are hardcore gamers. When a console sells 70, 80, 90 million, it's mostly casuals. And casuals don't have these conversations. They don't care about balance, multiplayer balance, frame rate. If they could pay $20 to own people so they could feel good about themselves, they're going to pay that $20. It's an emotion thing, But what I think is the industry has to have a responsibility to recognize that the core gamer, the enthusiast, we like to enjoy their games, and we're the ones that's going to buy their sequels. Casuals don't always buy sequels. You know what I'm saying? Not always. They'll move on to the next big thing.
Casuals aren't putting in the time that hardcore gamers put into these games as well. We're the ones that keep coming back. These casuals are the ones that only put in a few hours on the weekend. They'll buy everything so they could fuck the other team up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the industry should balance it out. Be like, hey, we got the normal competitive mode where you could get loot crates, buy whatever. But for the competitive gamers, we got competitive mode where none of this shit counts.
Yeah.
This is the mode where you have to earn, you know, and make it.
I think
and then,
I think Injustice 2 did it the best way. You know what I mean? Like the gear that you can, you know, get from the coin, the tokens you purchase, and level up your character to 20, or all the gear you earn when you go into a competitive match. You just turn that mode on.
Yeah.
And now you guys are both on the same playing field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
So
exactly.
it gives you the option, but you still get to wear that dope gear that you've been grinding.
Look, yeah, at that point it's just cosmetic, but
Right.
it doesn't actually, you know, in the competitive mode, it doesn't actually work. Yes,
Right.
Just balance it out. Give something for everybody. If you want to buy and use all these advantages, you're gonna play in this mode. But for the competitive gamers, where you're gonna grind, this is the mode you're gonna play. And I think at that point, no one will have an issue with this.
Right.
Everybody gets to play the way they want, you know.
Yeah,
but
but
anyway,
this situation, I just people defending this stuff is just disgusting. It makes no sense. It really does. Puerto Rock.
hit the like button if you want to hear Jay Fon say "fuck you" one more time.
Yeah, that was great.
I apologize for
I push it twice.
but
Hey, Jay got excited from the Eminem cipher. Fuck you.
Mhm.
When it comes to a hobby that I'm passionate about, when pay to win situations with these loot crates are happening and people are defending it, it really gets to me. It really does. It's irritating that people will defend this shit. There's no need for this shit in our games unless the game is free. I don't want to buy a game and then continue to have to buy shit just to compete. I don't want to do that shit. I want to play a game and fucking grind a game out if I really love it.
There's always Connect 4.
And I want the other people.
There you go.
I want the other people that are playing it to grind it out as well. I know that, hey, they got lucky getting that piece. Oh, they got lucky getting that piece. Or I got lucky getting this. No, they just bought the motherfucking piece.
Yeah.
It's bullshit, man.
I agree.
Yeah, well, I agree. Yeah, I feel your passion, Jay Fonz, and I actually, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's unfortunate. Like I said, I had a young man, he direct messaged me, and he just said, look, because I was asking what the heck a loot crate was. You know, my day, you fought the boss, and if he drops the weapons he had, that was your loot crate, so to speak. You know, but they literally just said kind of what you said. They don't have time to sit down and grind, you know, 5-6 hours to get the stuff. They have, you know, they have other stuff going on. They just want to come in and play the game. But I agree with you. I certainly hope the Star Wars community goes on a gentleman's agreement not to do the whole loot crate thing. I know they won't. They will, you know. So
no, I just,
you know, at least you know.
I know
I
they
agree with you.
I think it'd be an easier fight to let the developers know to create a competitive mode where loot crate doesn't impact the game. I think that would be a bigger. I think that would be an easier fight because like the loot crate, it's gonna sell. It's gonna work.
Yeah, you're right.
A lot of casual gonna pay for it, but I think it's easier to tell the developers, listen, we understand you need to make more money, we get it, but can you make a mode where it doesn't count?
Well, how about a mode where there is no loot crate ability to do anything, no special stuff going in there? You can just use the base guns and everything, and the stuff, you know, that you can, it's not really an extra advantage, you know. Why not that? That's easier.
Hey, P-Rock, I know you want to get out of here, but Psycho in the chat wants an invite so he can have a heart.
Oh, hell nah. That would be like another hour in itself. We're going to do that next week. Hell no. I guess Psycho
that's my boy Psycho, man.
My man Psycho. Yeah, my man. That shit's like an hour in itself. Yo, bro, the Yankees are playing. We are 3-0. Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so before we sign out, is there any last topic?
Wait a minute. I got to bring it up. Is Psycho Gamer defending pay to win? Is that one?
I guess he's a casual, you know. He likes. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, he's not. Yeah, he's not.
I don't know. But bad.
Okay, because I don't understand what he's trying to say there. Like,
I don't know. I mean,
we'll find out. Tune in next week. Psycho Gamer versus
Psycho Gamer. Yeah, Psycho Gamer versus Foz. We're gonna make that happen
next week. Tune in. 60 Crates No Like podcast. Loot crate. Give me the loot. You know. But anyway, I think we covered everything. I want to say shout out to the people in chat. That chat was live, especially when we started talking about Loot Crate. It just started blowing up. But I also want to thank Daniel J again for the super chat. Appreciate it. I hope we were able to answer your question. First, I want to start out with Triple Cup Chuck, our guest of the night. Hey, brother, thank you so much for coming through.
Man, appreciate you for having me on, man, for real.
know what I'm saying? To be on a PlayStation podcast, this is one of my first in history. You know what I'm saying? And it actually was, you know what I'm saying, decent. You know, some of these are my fellow brothers. You know, we do time. But you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Xbox. You can find me on YouTube at Triple Cup Chuck, Triple then Chuck. And on Fridays, you can find me at the GRG podcast. And on Mondays, you can find me with Kane on the gamer section. Oh, and one other thing too, I want to say right fast. Next Wednesday, like around this time here, I'm gonna start my own podcast. My time is like 8 o'clock, so I don't know what time zones nobody else in, but it's gonna be like after Porter Rocks. And I'm gonna do a podcast. Mine is not gonna just be about video games. Mine is gonna be more like Marvel and DC, like comic books and stuff like that. Like, let's say it's gonna be, yeah, so it's gonna be different. Let's say, like, for example, like you, Porter Rock, and Fonzie, let's say y'all, I'm hypothetically speaking, let's say y'all PlayStation players, and let's say Craig and All Day Xbox players, and then come on my podcast, let's say All Day and you, Porter Rock, and Marvel, and Fonzie and Craig is DC. So now y'all gonna get a mixture of the sides, just kind of like reversing, and then, you know what I'm saying, with a little sprinkle of video games, and then, you know what I'm saying, got to make that gumbo nice and seasoned.
All right. Nice, man. I'm looking forward. I would love to invite, just so I could talk shit about Batman and how he could beat the universe.
Yeah, man. I'm wanting to do a podcast for Black Panther. I was going to call it 100 Days before the Panther, and just start doing podcasts on Black Panther, the comic, and the history of the character, thing like that. So,
I'll give you an idea after the show, but we'll talk after the show.
I'm gonna say this: I'm loving what Marvel's doing with the Black Panther character. My God, I'm loving it. It's phenomenal. God, these guys
took it to a whole new level, because I ain't expect them to be that raw.
No, not like that. It's fantastic. I just can't wait. All right, so we're gonna go to the pencil anyway. Everybody knows where Triple Cup Chuck can find them. Good new announcement on his channel. Appreciate that. You heard it here first. All right, but now we're gonna get to the panel. My man, Jay Fonz, the coolest, the voice of YouTube. What's going on, brother?
Hey, the Cycle Gamers got me all fucked up.
Oh shit! Next week,
man, I can feel it.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Cycle Gamer, get ready. You're gonna get a link.
No, I'm cool with Cycle Gamer. I've met him before on your show.
I know. That's
everything's
awesome.
Cool, but I don't understand. He said he don't buy him, so he's not supporting him. But I don't understand what he means. He's like, you know,
you don't mind him being in the game.
You're gonna have to tune in next week.
You know, Cycle. I wish you would just bring him on right now so we can.
No, I'm gonna promote this. No, I'm gonna promote
Don
this.
King.
Like Don King. That's it. Mayweather Promotions. Well, I'm gonna make y'all both stars. So that's good stuff. All right. So anyway, my man Jay Fonzarelli, RDX podcast. You still doing that?
Yeah, you can find me at RDX podcast Tuesdays at 8. Is it 8 p.m.? Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Dealer Gaming's channel.
Nice. Goes on. Any other podcast? Are you doing something yourself? I would love a Fonz podcast.
I've been sick, bro, so I'm out of it right now. But I'm not doing anything by myself. No, I'm not doing any podcasts except with RDX and of course 60 Frames and. Man,
I gotta get you on to make you own, man, because you got like the radio voice, bro. You should be like on Sirius XM and shit. Like for real. Anyway, man, my man, I appreciate you showing up, sick and all, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, brother. It's always awesome to have you on. All right. And of course, we got the pettiest gamer, the newly Christian oracle of PlayStation, the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama of PlayStation.
Right, what up,
my man, all day.
Hey, you guys can find me at All Day Digital.
Now, you also another RDX?
Yeah, RDX on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on Dealer Gaming's channel, where we talk everything Xbox. And you can catch me here. And I don't know if Zaire's back. We should be doing multiplayer soon. I don't know if
I need to get back. I wasn't on the last two, and shit's going wild.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell's going on?
You know, they getting themselves carried away.
God damn, you know, I go away for 2 weeks, that shit becomes BGST 2.0. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, nah, we're gonna change that. We're gonna bring back the realness.
Yeah, I don't know. We got to go in there. Hopefully tomorrow, man. But you guys find me on Twitter, allday_digital, and I'm out.
All right, and of course, you know, top flight security of the world. My man, the Pope of Xbox, you know, hitting on with the Vine. My man, Craig Harris.
Yes, and I appreciate the Vine, and I appreciate being here and having people listen to the Pope pontificate tonight. And you can just check me out on my channel. Check me out on Craig Harris Talks Games. Pretty straightforward. Also on Twitter, Twitch, and big shout out to you, Triple Chuck. I mean, I do appreciate you being here, brother. I enjoy talking with you. Porter Rock, glad you're back. Jay Fonz, get better, man. Yeah, and all day the Oracle.
You're damn right. Thanks for the Vine. I appreciate it.
All righty, yeah. So, everybody go play Life is Strange. If you have not played Life is Strange, go play Life is Strange. It's one of the best games I've played. Go check that out.
All right. Well, season 2 or the first one?
Check that first one out. It's extremely well done.
It is good.
Yeah, I'm on the second episode right now, so
it is. I will co-sign that. That is a great game. Life is Strange. If you like that type of game, if you like the story,
the Pope blesses that game. The Pope of Xbox blesses that game for Xbox.
Well, the Oracle will oversee it.
I'll
check it out.
All right. So to the family out there, to the chat, and to all those who are.
Whoa.
Yeah, he cut out.
Hey, don't forget to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I got over 1,600 family members, and it's growing every day. I appreciate it. And to the panel, thank you so much for showing up. I always have a great time with you guys, man. This panel is absolutely phenomenal. And Triple Cut, Chuck, you know what I'm saying? My man, you are welcome to this channel anytime, brother. You just let me know whenever you could show up. Just hit me up, brother. You're welcome to this channel anytime. Thank you,
you might not want to say that. I'll be here every weekend.
Yeah, my man. You're like the cousin that don't leave and shit.
Yeah, I'm the cousin from the country that coming up there to that north.
My man, hey, yo, fam, can I stay for a day? 2 years later. Yo, where the milk at? And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yo, that's it right there, too.
All right, people. Hey, don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you so much. See you next week. 60 frames, no lag. Peace.